Hey guys, well, K-State defeated the Kansas Jayhawks by the score of 59-21. Well guys, K-State was the better team in this one. Kansas, they had some good drives here and there, but overall, they kind of stunk in this game, but they had some good drives though. But overall, K-State was the better team in this one. K-State moves to 7-0 with a 4-0 conference record, while Kansas falls to 2-5 with an 0-4 conference record. So this is K-State's first 7-0 start since the 1999 season, so that's good. And K-State's tied for first in the Big 12 with Oklahoma State, so that's good. The turnovers, K-State had none, while KU had 2, and both were turnovers. They were both fumbles, sorry. Both KU turnovers were fumbles. The penalties, K-State had 2 for 25 yards, while Kansas had 9 for 105 yards. So I think the penalties kind of killed Kansas in this game. So my impact players for Kansas, their quarterback Webb went 21 for 28 for 169 yards, 1 touchdown and no interceptions. He had 4 carries for -11 yards and no touchdowns. Their running back Sims had 8 carries for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 1 reception for 4 yards and no touchdowns. Meckham, their backup quarterback, went 4 for 8 with 41 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 1 carry for no yards and no touchdowns. Pick had 6 receptions for 51 yards and no touchdowns. Mundine had 4 receptions for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. So, and Begiers had 3 receptions for 35 yards and 1 touchdown. So those are my impact players for Kansas, and if I mispronounce any names, I'm sorry. My impact players for K-State, Colin Klein had a career day against Kansas. He went for 12 for 19. He had 195 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. He had 13 carries for 92 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he had a career day against Kansas, and he played really, really good. So Samuel Lemur, our backup quarterback, went 2 for 2, 10 yards. He had 10 yards and no touchdowns and no interceptions. He had 3 carries for 15 yards and 1 touchdown, so he did good. John Hubert had 17 carries for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 1 reception for 1 yard and no touchdowns. Tyler Lockett had 5 receptions for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 2 kick returns for 122 yards and 1 kick return touchdown, so he did good. Chris Harper had 5 receptions for 55 yards and no touchdowns. And Tremaine Thompson had 1 reception for 29 yards and 0 touchdowns. So those are my impact players for K-State. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names as well. I had 3 keys to victory for K-State. Key 1 was play great and balanced offense. I think they did pretty good at that, so I give Key 1 an A. Key 2 was play great defense. I think they did pretty well with that, but they gave up some good drives to Kansas, so I have to give Key 2 an A-. So, but they still played great defense. So, Key 2, A-. Key 3, don't overlook Kansas. I don't think we did, so I give Key 3 an A+. So, those are my 3 keys to victory. My grading of the units. I have to give the offense an A. They did pretty well. They kind of had some bad drives here and there, but overall they did pretty good. So I give the offense an A. The defense, I have to give an A minus. They gave up some good drives to Kansas, but overall they shut down Kansas, except for those good drives they gave up. So I give the defense an A minus. Special teams, I give an A plus. They did really well. We got a kick return for a touchdown, so we did really well. We didn't miss any field goals or extra points, so I have to give the special teams an A plus. I give the coaching an A. I think the coaching staff did really well coaching these guys, but I didn't agree with some of the plays. But I had to give the coaching staff did really well. So I had to give the coaching staff an A. So those are my grades for the units. My MVP for this game is Colin Klein and Tyler Lockett. So those are my MVPs for the game. Colin Klein led us to a victory again, and so he gets my first MVP, and my second MVP is Tyler Lockett for getting us another kick return, so for a touchdown. So he gets my other MVP. So my MVPs are Colin Klein and Tyler Lockett. So that's about it for me. So go State and Emaw.